Hello, and welcome to Broken Chess, the show that doesn't care how long it takes to set up a game, it will play the game. I am here once again with the guest among us who certainly plays the most bass out of any of our other guests we have on the show. Welcome back, Jack Beal. Jack, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing so wonderfully. Such a pleasure.
Fantastic. I love the little chessboard you got behind you, although I'm sure that was not its original purpose.
Oh
And
no, I play wall chess. It's very broken. Gravity breaks it.
we will have to, you say that as a joke, we'll have to try that to some extent now.
Okay.
A lot of Velcro, probably. All right. So as you could probably tell, the version we have here set up is a little different. We are calling this Halvsies, and the way that'll work is I control the pieces from E to H. Jack controls the pieces from A to D. We've changed the colors around to hopefully make it a little easier for us and you to understand who controls what. And if a piece goes over, whether capturing or just to set something up, whatever, then it will become the possession of the other person. The exception, of course, being the queens, which my queen, his kings, their king starts on the wrong side of the board, basically. So the queen will have to make a move onto the correct side of the board before returning to wreak havoc upon the opponent's pieces. I think that is everything. So
yeah, let's break it.
Yeah, in hopes of this going better than I think it will, let us away.
All right.
All right, so I think I'm actually going to do this.
Okay.
Yeah, and my computer wants me to know I'm in check, but those pieces, yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna try. Let's move my like pawn at D2 to D3.
Okay. Thank you for taking me out of check.
Of course.
All right, but I think I see a danger there. I'm going to move my pawn. Oh, I mean, yeah, so I could actually capture that pawn at D3, but then my pawn would become your pawn. I don't want to.
And that would just be deleting your pawn effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, it would just be giving you mine. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move my pawn to E3. This one's going to take a lot of brain power.
Yeah. Well, because like at first I was like, oh, I can just like throw my bishop at your other pawn on G5, and I was like, well, then it's your bishop.
Yep.
Okay. Let's try moving my knight at B8 at the back side of the board. Let's try C6.
Let's try that. Would you look at that? C6 indeed.
Every time.
Going to go bishop to G7.
Okay. Let's do my pawn at B2 to B4.
Okay.
Actually, maybe that's not a good name. I'll stick with it. Now
it's going to
I'm
get
realizing though, because like even if you like captured that, like that, my knight is not even defending that pawn, because if you move there and capture the pawn, it's my piece.
right.
It's like there's no actual defense to be had there.
So I think maybe we have to add another half point to the brokenness. Is once these pawns start crossing over, it's going to be very difficult to tell which ones are going which way.
But it does mean that it could be very hard to wind up with a pawn in the 8th rank, because like it'll be hard to promote pawns because it's so easy to just like capture, and then the pawn has to start going the other direction.
Yeah.
If you capture with pawns across the middle.
Yeah. Oh, I think
so. This might be a game in which like it just becomes impossible to promote pawns.
Yeah, I think this will either be a game that will like end on a super weird checkmate, or will end in stalemate because there's just no other possibilities left. Like all the pawns get locked and something like that.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So now I am going to move my knight. I'm going to move it to h6 and put you in check.
But we said if queens cross sides, they stay ours.
No, the queen. So the queen's like first move. Well, yeah, I was going to say so just for my queen in particular, like I have to move it over to my side, I think, just to avoid.
Okay. But if you cross back into my side, it becomes mine.
Right.
Okay.
Whereas your queen starts on your side, and your king. Yeah, I didn't think about your king, which also starts on my side. I would say you don't have to move it, but I think kings can move wherever and not change.
I was going to say, because if I need to move it to my side first, I'm now in checkmate.
From your
because I have no way to move it to my side
right
now.
No, I'd say the king can go wherever he so well pleases.
All right, let's move it to e7.
Right, so capturing my pawn,
which I think is kind of my only option, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the reason I did that, I knew you'd make that, your only possible move. However, I then get to...
You get to capture the queen.
I captured a queen, but then it becomes your rook.
Right.
So I lose a rook, but you lose
But I lose a queen.
And I don't know if that is a trade.
Is that worth? Yeah. And also, but my queen is also kind of trapped back there right now anyway. Like I'm not gonna stick my queen in the corner and give it to you. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you capture my rook, then it becomes my queen.
But then I guess there could be like lines of theory where like I could capture the rook and you could capture the bishop, and then I could stick it back on your side and capture something. Like there could be like weird chains of trades.
Yeah.
In the theory, that might need a second or 10th game to develop.
Yeah. Okay. What I do know though is that I'm going to move my knight to
and put me back in check.
Be back in check. All right. Yeah, I think that was your only move.
But it's definitely very quickly becoming checkmate.
Yeah, let's if only I was a better chess player. Okay, yeah, because I think
it's really close to checkmate.
It's all right, but it's not. And I did just lose 2 of my pawns, which I don't love. Because if I move my queen to h5, that's check. You can't capture.
I would take your bishop. Yeah. I would have to take your bishop.
No, you couldn't because the knight's protecting it.
So that'd be checkmate.
No, because you can move to...
Oh, I can move there. Okay, I see.
And I don't know that I can do anything about that. However, I will just do that to see if...
let's do it then.
Yeah, so queen to h5.
And I have to go to e6, which isn't such a bad position to be in.
No.
Relative to where I just was in the last couple of turns.
Okay, and so this pawn on the g file is going that way towards 1.
Right.
As is the pawn which hasn't moved yet there, and then all these other pawns are going towards 8.
Yeah, so in most cases when there are 2 pawns on a file, they have to move towards each other.
Yeah, so you kind of did me a favor by
opening up
2 of them.
Yeah,
I think.
Do you get to promote your pawns if they make it to the other end of your side of the board?
Yeah, I think so.
Sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only because it's even harder in this version. All right, so you can capture that if I don't do anything. All right, so I'll still just do that.
Let's try it.
Yeah, so you have to go to d5.
It seems natural to go with your knight to e7 or something, but I'm not. Is that useful?
So it's...
I mean, it's like a convenient check, but maybe it's not actually a useful...
Yeah.
Sure, it's like chain of events to start.
Yeah, I appreciate you helping me out with this. Because if I go there, it pushes your king further into your territory.
Which could be quite useful to me.
Yeah, I think that actually helps.
In that sense, I would recommend it. I think you should go to e7 with that.
Yeah, so I was doing a little bit of thinking, and I don't think that is what I want. What I do want.
Sure, it looks like a really good move to me. We both win because if I win, we both win because it's gratifying. It's gratifying for me for you to have invited me to a game that I win.
I'm not
so it
a great.
encourages our friendship.
All right. No, you know what I'll do instead is move my bishop to f6.
All right, that gives me a lot of concern.
Yeah, because that's a better trade for me.
And there's basically nothing I can do to prevent it.
No, aside from giving me the queen, which you're more than welcome to do.
Let's shuffle my king to c5 and see. Actually, yeah. Let's roll with that and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll take the queen now. So capture the queen, but then becomes a black bishop.
Let's move my pawn at d7 to d5.
Okay. Oh God, the concept of like development makes no sense on this board.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to do.
Really, yeah, it makes way more sense for me to develop these pieces that almost immediately put you in probably checkmate if I were a better player.
Yeah, my suspicion is that with the king and queen in their usual position, like on opposite side, like where the kings are on opposite sides of the line, where yours is on your correct side, but mine's on the off side. I suspect that flip that lends an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably to white.
I would guess to me.
Or for white on e to h.
Yeah.
If white was a to d, it'd be the other way around probably.
Yeah. So whoever has the e to h pieces.
The offside king is disadvantaged, I think.
And this pawn is going that way. But that.
if only we get little arrows for all the pawns.
Oh, we might be.
That'd be a big upgrade for doing this on a physical board, as you could just have a little pointer on all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So good news for everybody who likes to play chess on a real board. That's you win that one handily.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna go down that way and just really try to keep it in straight that these two leftmost pawns, or leftmost from my perspective, are going up towards 8, and these 4 are easy to keep track of. All right, it's your move.
Let's move my knight from c6 to d4.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be really difficult to keep track of who's going what way, but I'm going to capture that knight to give you a pawn for a knight, basically.
Okay.
And so that's a pawn going that way.
Going 8 words.
8 words, yeah. So
which locks them up against each other.
Yeah, because 5. So
okay.
Not very often do you see that, especially with.
Okay.
So the pawn on d5 is going towards 1, and 3 and 4 going towards 8.
Going 8 words. Okay.
Good luck unlocking that. However, the advantage is that is a big wall for your king to hide behind.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I do not know how to break it.
You're gonna have to hand me a piece to break that wall up.
Yeah, that really makes me think that this game is gonna end in stalemate.
I don't know. Because as long as kings can cross the line safely, maybe there's a way around it.
That's true.
Like if your king was at like e4, you could safely capture through the middle of the wall.
That's true. Yeah, I could capture. Oh yeah, thank you for giving me that idea.
You could break through sideways because the pawns can't capture forwards. Unless we want to add a level of brokenness and say the pawns can capture forwards in half.
I think it's a bit late in the game to do that.
That would be. I wonder a later episode you should combine brokenness.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my turn. So yes. I just acquired that pawn at d4.
Yes, bully for you.
But it's tough because as the pawns close in, it's gonna like lock my king up. Let's do my pawn at A2, send it to A3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go here to G7 with my knight.
Those outside pawns are really kind of useless.
Until you can turn them into queens.
I guess, but like that means you have to get rid of the pawns facing them.
In one direction, yeah. And I don't, yeah, like I don't know.
That's tough.
Because your king took two of those there. I don't know. Your king is really the only thing that could take any of those pawns, unless you want to capture a pawn and basically give up like a bishop or a rook for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do that for you.
I might ask anyways. Let's see what happens if I send my bishop from D8 to your pawn.
Okay. To here?
From D8, on the black
okay.
square. Yeah, capture the pawn.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. That maybe should that be another rule? Do we have to say things with "you're welcome" every time a piece switches sides?
You shouldn't have to be reminded. It should just be automatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have to gift wrap every piece that crosses the line and have a little unwrapping.
All right. I'm now gonna go knight to E6 and put you in check.
Right, and then I'm gonna go with my king to C4.
Boom. Okay. I don't think that move actually helped me because I think it just pushed you further inside the wall.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should have been less hasty to do the king thing. Well,
all right. I think this pawn's got a path now, so I'm just going to push it up to F5.
Oh, and I can't capture your knight because that pawn at D5 is headed onewards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I went with that direction.
Okay, so I guess the king thing was the best move I have available.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of curious to see what happens if we move my bishop from C1 to D2.
Oh, yeah, so that's check.
Yeah.
You can't capture it.
You can't capture it?
No, because your knight on...
Oh, you're right. I definitely had that in mind. I'm so smart.
But you know what I can do is...
You can poke inside the line. Oh, yeah, because those pawns are facing the other way.
Yeah.
What happened? Let's move my knight from B1 to C3.
All right. Yep. So now check again. But now I can capture that bishop.
I definitely had that in mind. I'm so sorry.
Ooh. Although perhaps I don't want to.
No, of course you don't want to. Why would you want to?
Oh, wait. No, never mind. I was thinking this was conventional rules. Silly me. Yeah.
It would be very funny if the king crossed over, if you then had to check, if the king became mine and you had to checkmate both at once.
Yeah, that I was thinking about a version of that where one player has to checkmate both kings and the other player just has to, I don't know, not lose all their pieces. In the meantime, yeah, I'm just going to take that bishop.
Yeah, there's no reason you can't just take it because there's there's no risk to you there. Like you don't.
Well, my thought was you could, like, the king was protecting that bishop from your rook, but if you take that bishop, then it becomes my rook. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm not worried. I mean, I don't want to lose the bishop, but point value wise, that is in my favor. So.
Yeah. Let's move my rook from A1 to A2. That'd be a very, very exciting move for my rook to somehow make.
Yeah.
Have you done a variation of like chess with portals?
No, but And
where
Kyle,
maybe
yeah, we did. So there was another version in the original Twitter thread that inspired this, called Trapdoor, where you pick one square, like write it down. I think we'll maybe play that in the next month or so because it was very fun. It kind of is more like regular chess than I thought it was going to be. But there's definitely that kind of risk, and it certainly we'll put what each player put as their trapdoor piece on the yeah, not to get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's try moving my knight to b1.
Okay.
Which is check.
Oh, so it is.
Then you have to pop back over to your side of the line, I think.
I mean, well, I could go to c1.
Oh, you're right.
And in fact, I think I will use the king's actually become a pretty good weapon in this because it's the only go over.
Let's put my knight back. Let's go back to c3.
Okay.
It's not my intention to just keep going back and forth, though.
No, that's fine. Yeah, and then so here's where next move you could go to e2, but it's
Well, and I was gonna say, like, I would imagine that the standard rule of like six moves just flip flopping is a stalemate.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go up to f7.
Is that a stalemate in regular chess, or does someone just lose? That's a stalemate, right?
It's a stalemate. Yeah, I think if both players go back and forth.
Yeah. Is it three times? Three turns?
I believe so. Okay. Hopefully not a rule we'll ever need on this channel.
Let's move my bishop from c8 to d7.
Yeah, I worried you might do that. I'm still gonna do that. And yeah, I will make it a queen. I don't know why it doesn't work on the analysis board here, but yeah, there we go. I think it's worth it for you to take it. And I'm not saying that, oh, I just want you to. I just
No, I was just thinking the same thing, because that's more worthwhile than taking your knight, right? There's a funniness to the logic.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Let's capture that queen. See what's up.
So you're losing a rook, and I'm gaining.
But you lose a queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wind up with a less useful piece.
Right. So I'm in a less advantageous position now than I was before. I don't know.
But it did cost me a rook. So we'll see how it pans out, I guess.
All right.
So I'm spending my rook to subtract the bishop from your queen.
Yeah. Got an idea here, and I think it's gonna take me too many moves to set up, but I'm hopeful it will work. I'll just move this bishop up here to h6.
I'm like trying to. I want to like start doing something with those outside pawns, but I'm not sure what to do with them. Because they can only move inwards, which only like closes off the safest part of the board.
Yeah, so I think
from
you're
quite a pickle.
Yeah, so you captured one with the bishop, and then the other two with your king. So that kind of freed me up, and I'm
like you've been able to be really mobile with your pieces in a way that I absolutely have not.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let's move my knight from c3 to b5.
Okay.
I think I have a vague idea of something I want to do now.
That might okay. Wait, YOLO. All right, so I'm gonna do that to g8.
All right, let's move my pawn from c2 to c3. Does surrounding my king with pawns just make me invincible? Maybe.
I think
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. You have to get through the pawns, which just
oh my god. So yeah, because I was so my plan was, all right, I'll break through, I'll capture one of these and back it up. But if I capture one, then it becomes your piece.
Yeah. I think you've picked the like ultra mobile way just by sacrificing pawns. And I might be able to just slowly absorb your pieces.
Yeah, so
Just
this
like,
is my one of my thoughts was if you can trade a pawn for an opponent's like better piece, then you can kind of gain an advantage that way. But it hasn't worked out here because it's left you with this wall
right,
that,
right.
and I can't use my king to capture any of them either because, well,
You
one,
can't
my
put
rook is
yourself in
blocking,
check. Yeah.
but also they're all in contact with the king, and if any of the other pieces touch them, it becomes your piece. So yeah, I think we're looking at a stalemate, but I don't want to jinx, or I don't want to speak too soon because um, I can very easily be wrong because, like I said, I'm not a very good chess player.
I mean, I think as long as one of the kings is like offsides, I think it become as I mean as long certainly as long as there are pieces, I think, and a king is offsides, there should be plenty of ways to go into checkmate.
Yeah, but all right.
Like
So
unless it's like a king versus a bishop or something, but
yeah, all right. I'm not gonna say anything else and like jinx myself. And instead, I'm just going to move the queen to g4.
okay. Let's go all in. Let's move my pawn from c7 to c5.
Okay. Yeah. So just to for us and for so these pawns on 5
Those are all one
are
word. And
locked. They are
then
going towards 1. These 4 on 4 and 3
they're all going
are
eight
going
words.
towards 8.
Yeah.
And obviously those 2 and 7 that haven't moved yet are also going towards 1. Yeah. And we're not going to get a stalemate because you have enough other pieces that moves are possible. But it's
Yeah. But it could become an arbitrarily long game.
yeah. Ooh, or yeah, let me try that. All right, I'll just go there to give myself more run up, I guess.
Okay. Can we do anything funky? Not really. Like I'm really tempted to like use my rook to drag your king around, but that's just gonna result in my rook getting captured really safely on your part. Um
I can see one other strategic good move. I think it's just good strategic move for. Although, no, actually, maybe not.
I'll just take your queen, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying or
That
thinking.
maybe the obvious thing is just the best.
Yeah, so that's a shame. From 2 queens to 0. It wouldn't be a game of broken chess if I didn't hang my queen. The only upside to that is now you have what 8 pawns a knight in a row, which
I
is
think do I have nine? One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, I have 8 points. Okay.
all right. And I just saw exactly how to get. Oh yeah, you do have 9 because you took one
Two,
of
four,
mine.
five. Oh
I
no,
got
it is 9. Yeah.
all right, and then now I see exactly how to move my knight to where I want it to go, which is great. I'm glad that worked out for me.
I don't have a lot of options for capturing without bishops though.
Yeah.
Let's move my knight to d6.
All right. So this is my grand strategy: is check.
Okay. And my 4 pawn is going 8 words. That middle pawn is going 8 words, so I can't capture your knight.
Right. All right.
Let's do b3.
He's b3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is the safer spot. So obviously not where I was hoping you'd go.
What were you gonna do if I moved it up to b5? If it's not too revealing of your other plans.
Yeah, I was gonna try to get this bishop over there,
Ah, okay.
and then I think it would have forced you further up and hopefully
Yeah.
away from pawn protection. Although you could have captured it with that knight, which
Yeah.
I think would be advantage you. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. I think a way better version of this game would be starting the board the way we did, but then pieces can move kind of normally across the board.
Maybe I was wondering what it would be like if like in the starting rows, it's like instead of pieces at the back row, it'd be like pieces like four pieces in the corner and then like a block of four pawns on the inside.
I'm not quite conceptualizing it, but maybe we can draw it out after this.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you're out of range of my knight. But just to keep you honest, I think. Oh my God, that. Oh well, no. Yeah, where you were. No, never mind. All right, I'll just do that.
Yeah, you haven't even bothered wasting turns moving those pawns at G and H2.
Now I might move the G1 to try to get another queen, but I don't even think
Oh
that.
yeah, because you do have that option potentially.
Yeah, and those H1s, there's no point.
I just I just don't have that option because I can't even take your knights.
Nope.
Dang.
You can take the knight on E2 with your rook, but then it
Yeah,
give up a
I don't
rook.
think that's useful to me though.
No.
I guess let's run my king to A4.
Okay. You know what I can do now? There is hope yet.
And then what happens if I stick my rook on A1? Actually, yeah.
That actually makes things easier for me.
I get it. I get it now.
Yeah. His Royal Highness raining down destruction.
Yeah.
I think you can probably prevent a good chunk of it with your rook, but I'm not sure.
I'm hoping your knights are doing a really good job of preventing me from doing that, though.
I think I would. Well, yeah, I don't know exactly what I'll do until you do what you do. Be do be do be do be do. Because yeah, I can take either the C or the D pawn.
Yeah.
So whatever you move to, I'll take the other one.
Let's put my king at B3.
Okay. And then yeah, I will capture the D3 pawn.
And then I'm going to put my pawn at C5 at C4.
Okay. Well, this
So
gets trickier now. So those two are going 8wards.
Those white ones and B4 are going 1ward.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, no. B4 is going 8wards too.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna see if I can still draw.
Unless it becomes a house, it'll like draw and erase all the time.
So this is going that way.
Oh,
this is going that way.
Yeah.
That way. Oh.
Close enough.
This probably would have been better to do a long time ago. And this one is going which way?
8wards.
Okay.
And that's going 8wards. Yeah. And those are both going down.
Okay.
That's a helpful visual.
Yeah. We'll figure out how to clear, it looks like. I can well, yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I'm sure. There'll be one more piece captured. All right.
I guess on a physical board, it'd be nice to have like teardrop, like pawns that have like a teardrop shaped footprint. So you can orient them.
Okay, so now I can't capture any of your pawns, which is, well, no, I can't capture. Yeah, and I can't move.
No, you have no options with that king anymore for my pawns.
Well played. At least I got one.
Oh no, that's not true. You could capture D4, couldn't you?
Oh yes, no, because then the pawn on C3.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I can't go to E4.
Okay, cool. That worked out well for me.
But what I can do is move. Oh no, no, I can't. If I use the rook, then it becomes your rook.
But it does it. If I wind up moving that pawn, it like opens up like sight lines for check with my king. If that pawn somehow gets out of there. Like
The
your rooks are still useful for like corralling my king potentially.
yeah.
Probably not in the next couple of turns.
So my only option is
You have
uh,
to go to d2.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank goodness that c3 pawn's going the other way. Otherwise, I'd be in mate.
Yeah, it would be really nice for me. If only in regular chess you could have a row of pawns facing the same direction. Just like march them forward with a bunch of captured points.
Now that knight I walled in my own king. Gonna have to fix that.
Like I'm inclined to like give you my knight, but it seems not very prudent to run out of pieces. Cause like you're going to have to wind up putting pieces on my side of the board. I think.
Perhaps.
I think you to get me in checkmate. I think you're going to have to somehow force my king up to the center line. Let's. I kind of like where my king is right now though, because I like I like how it's interacting with your king. I don't know. Let's move my king to a4.
Okay. And I will just get this knight out of the way so that my king can get out of the way.
I don't know. Let's move my knight to f5 on your side.
Okay.
I think I'm starting to think this might be necessary.
So my knight now.
Like I could keep shuffling stuff out to the corners. I think it would just have the effect of prolonging the game.
Yeah.
And like just letting you extremely slowly develop some like whatever your long plan is.
Yeah. No, I got it. It's a long plan, but I'll get there.
And let's move my rook to a2.
Okay, so check.
And make your make your king run away or something.
Yeah, that was his plan.
Great king you got there. Maybe you should look into beheading him or something. Let's move my king to b5. I don't know.
I think that's a good move. I'll go to e4 with my king.
You are in check there.
Oh, yes, I am.
I don't think that's
legal. There we go. f4 it is. Oh, damn.
And then let's move my king to c5.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go up there to get him out of the way.
And then my rook to d2.
All right. Then I'm going to go to f5.
And then my rook to... Oh, this was a bit... Okay, I miscalculated with this plan. Let's move my rook to d1. I think at this point in the game, I think I'm starting to figure out where my comfort level is with just sacrificing stuff.
Okay, I'm going to e6, which is not in check.
And then let's capture your bishop with my rook.
Okay. So now I have 4 rooks. And you only have pawns.
And a king, yeah. And my pawns are pretty much useless at this point.
Yeah, so is your strategy to force a stalemate?
No.
Okay.
I fully intend to find some kind of way to run.
Then,
I don't know how checkmate's going to be possible, but I do not want to force a stalemate.
Yeah, because if you can see the point thing on our underneath our not names but colors, I don't know that I've ever seen plus 30 in a real game. So I'm gonna go up there.
All right.
You have 4 pawns to move.
Let's put my king on c6. Sorry, b6.
All right, so now I'm gonna go there.
You're really just gonna zoom around with the king, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dang. I guess let's move my king to b5.
So let me just make sure that I'm not putting myself in check here.
No, you're safe at d5. Yeah.
All right, and then let's
Your king can now only go towards one. Let's move my pawn from b7 to b6.
and now I'll go. So I can't capture any of those pawns, but I can do this, which will play out in time.
One hopes.
Yes, one does indeed. Oh, that wasn't the best. That wasn't the most efficient way to do that, but oh well.
Let's move my king to a5. You're gonna resume your zooming.
Yep. Capture c4.
And then I'll move my king to a4.
All right, and now I'll capture c3.
And then I'll move my pawn from d4 to d5.
D.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get a queen. I think I might have played into your hands a little bit there. But before that,
but before you play further into my hands, and I'm gonna move that pawn up again.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna leave the arrow. Oh no, that'll look bad.
It's like those slippery square games in like the slippery square passages in the Pokemon games. Or if you step on a square, you like go all the way in one direction until you hit a wall. That's a chess variant waiting to happen.
All right. Check.
Okay. Then I'm gonna move my pawn from b4 to b5.
Okay. Check.
And then I'll move my king to a5. Which I guess is the only move available.
Yep.
And I'm back behind a wall.
Yeah. Funny that. All right, and those two can't move, and those two can't move. Now, you know what? I think, no, because I can't stop that, so I'm just going to do this.
All right, well, I'm going to keep going with the pawn, so.
Yeah.
So by our rules, if I were to capture your bishop with the pawn, does it stay up?
Ooh.
With the pawn, what happens?
I would say,
like, do I get to promote it? Does it stay up on and turn around?
It crosses over and becomes my piece.
So does it become yours after I promote it, or does it become yours before it gets promoted? I guess is the question.
I'd say becomes mine before it gets promoted.
That sounds really unfair, but okay, fine.
Well,
because then I have an opportunity to promote it to something less useful, like a knight or something. Like you still gain a piece no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it definitely becomes my piece. If you want to decide what it becomes, I'm fine with that. If that's but it's my move.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's not the move I'm going to make. So
okay,
but I'd be interested to figure out what makes the most sense.
All right, I'm gonna go there with my knight.
Okay, I'm going to move my pawn from a3 to a4.
Are you sure you're not playing for a stalemate?
I'm trying to avoid it. If you wipe out all of my pieces and it's just my king on my side, I think if it's just my king on my side and you refuse to put pieces on my side, I think it becomes stalemate.
Yeah, and I'm not,
because the king is I mean, I guess you could set up a trap with your pieces and like use your king to like chase mine into a trap. That might take a really long time though.
Right, because the way your pieces are now, I don't know what my next move will be, but the way your pieces are now, I could try to get my bishop down to e1 to diagonally put you a check. But the only move
but you don't.
The only moves you have are pawn to a6, which would essentially force a stalemate because then your king wouldn't have any legal moves. And then your other move is to get your pawn promoted. And then all right, but then I'll capture that and you'll gain a knight.
Yeah.
Or capture that
and
you lose
I hand you a piece of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced that you're guaranteed to be able to chase my king into a trap. Do you have enough pieces? You've got 1, 2, 3,
I got 4
4
rooks.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard of you to set something up, but
yeah, the difficulty
I'm not like game theoretically. I don't think it's impossible for me to avoid it somehow.
Yeah, so I did move my knight up to
All right,
3.
let's run my pawn up and let's do the knight exchange if that's the move you're gonna make.
Okay, so to d8.
Yeah.
So gets promoted, and then I capture it.
And I get a knight.
And it becomes yours. A lot of work for. Now that goes off the board. Okay. Certainly something else to watch out for. And
now it's my move.
Yes. That was silly.
So I've promoted my pawn to a knight in exchange for deleting one of your pieces.
Yeah, that was a win for you for sure.
Let's move it to c6.
Okay. I think I need to get my king out of there now. Hey, I'm down to plus 28, so you're coming back.
I guess let's move the knight to b4.
b4, all right. You did say B, right? Not D.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so, because otherwise D just would have lost it. Anyway, yes.
Right.
Then I'll go to D2.
Okay. I really want to avoid a thing in which I just wind up with this king inside this little pawn blockade.
The only way that happens is if my king captures your pawn on A7 or A4.
Yeah, let's put my knight on D5.
Or B6. Knight on D5. Oh, 5.
Yeah, other 5. Yeah.
All right, now I've completely changed my mind because I think if you end up with that pawn thing, that counts as a stalemate. And I really want to win after all this. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go up to there.
What? I don't know. I want to like capture your rook, but then
you lose your only piece.
Yeah, and you have to. You'll eventually have to just stick stuff on my side of the board. I think. I mean, not necessarily. Like, because my king will have to like oscillate or escape from the little blockade, and you'll still have a chance to just wipe out the pawns. But then it's definitely a stalemate, or it's at least effectively a stalemate. And I can't just capture your knight because then that's just like
This is just giving up a knight.
It's just remove. Yeah, it's just giving up my knight for nothing. I don't know. I'll put it on b4. I guess I'll put you in check.
All right. I'll go.
That at least feels productive. I wonder if this variant would be boosted by a rule that the kings have to stay offside. That might get too hard though.
That would just guarantee an end in a stalemate.
I don't know.
Because I think the only way I've really been able to, well, the 2 ways I've been able to gain an advantage were 1, having my queen in my pieces in a much better position to put your king in danger immediately, and then 2, by using my king on your side of the board to capture pieces.
Yeah, let's put my knight on. Let's move it to c6.
C7.
Actually, no. Let's move it to c2.
Okay. So check again. And I'll go now to.
I'll move my knight to to a3. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll put it on c4.
That's check. So now we'll go there.
What if I move my pawn in a7 to a6?
I think you are.
Do I just wind up being forced into like engineering a stalemate?
I think so.
Is does the game theory here just end in stalemates?
I think so. I think this is, yeah. All right.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
If
we're
in a
so
couple of
close.
turns, if things are like really not convertible,
We have to be close
see what
because
the
the
deal
only
is.
pieces you can move are the king and the knight.
It's like you could also totally be like arranging your rooks in a way that like stops my king from breaking out of the pawn thing.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if this variant requires a looser definition of stalemate at the end of the game than we're used to in chess.
All right. So what I'll first do is this to try to get this knight out of the way.
Like I wonder if it counts as a loss if you like force me into having no available moves.
I think that should count as a win, but in chess it
Yeah,
counts as a draw, a stalemate. And I think if I force you in a position where there is no legal move you can make, that is a dub. But
yeah.
unfortunately,
That seems reasonable for this. Let's put my knight. I can't really do anything with the knight yet. Let's move my king to b4. I
yeah. I'm going to go then.
At this point, I'm like kind of just banking on an opportunity for pawn promotion to just like that, like somehow you're going to wind up capturing one and I can just break through somehow. But
Yeah. Well, I can't capture any of them at the moment. Oh, I could if I moved around. No, I couldn't capture any of them. Unless if you move the knight, I can capture the one on b6.
I mean, yeah, and you could use like a bishop to prevent my king from going back into a5 potentially, because you still have a black square bishop.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's your move. I think the black square bishop is going to be key, or the bishops in general are going to be key.
Yeah. Let's put my king on c5. Yeah, I can still do that for now.
Then I will put you in check with the bishop on f7, f8.
Move my king about d5.
d5?
Yeah.
Is this it? No.
It's like this is more like it though for your position.
Yeah, because if I go
Like
here,
this is much more viable for you as like options for checkmate.
yeah, because I go there, then you have that one
I can go to
e4.
e5.
Yeah, e4 and e5. So yeah, I'll do that to put you in check.
I'll do e4 so that it's a little more exciting.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny because I can't take either of your knights.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't take your rook either. Oh, dang it.
So you can move.
I have one option there. Or two options. I can move back or I can move up to e5.
Yeah.
Or to d3, right? D3 safe.
Yes. All right. So first I'll go g4, check.
Okay. I'm gonna try d3.
I think that's the safest one. Yeah, I can't get there with my knights. Ooh. Oh my god. And if I move my knight over there, that puts me in check, so I can't do that. And if I move it there, that just gets in the way. If I move it there, it just gets in the way. Damn it. If I didn't have that knight.
I bet there's cases where like if you had me like nearly in check, you could like stick a piece on my side just to prevent my king from moving. Like if you put your knight from e3 at c2, Like it puts me in check and prevents me from moving to c2 with the king. Like there, I can see cases where that could be useful.
Yeah, but I don't think it would get
I don't.
checkmate.
I don't think it does anything right now. But if
Um,
I still had pawns or pieces down at the end there to like block my king up against.
oh yeah. All right. So I'll do that. And then I think you have one. Well, you can capture my knight, but that doesn't do anything. I think you can just
So
basically moving back.
yeah, or or I can be truly ridiculous and move my pawn to a5.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, I think it's your last move of the game.
Just make a little cube of pawns. Um, I don't. That doesn't. That would be delightful, but not right now. Let's try moving the king over to c3,
Oh my goodness. And that, oh,
which kind of takes you out of the zone of sticking me in
wait, no,
place.
no,
Like,
no, no, no.
oh, you move that, and
Check.
then I have to go to c. I have to go to b4.
But the bishop is attacking b4.
Oh,
You can move the knight in the way and it becomes my knight, and then we have to do this again.
but then you just move the knight out of the way, and I'm done.
Uh,
So like I can prolong checkmate by a turn. So like let's put the knight at e2,
no,
right?
you can
Because
knight at
I can put
e3.
sorry, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so
So I can put it at e3, and then you just move it back out of the way, and I'm done for.
yeah, so you can make a stalemate. You go there, and it becomes mine. But the only place I can move it is back to your side.
Oh, you don't have a place to put it to. No, but like if you oh yeah, in any place you put it, I can put it back.
Yep.
I see. Okay. But
On
like
that,
that's it seems like that's a stalemate that's effectively a loss for me because
well, wait. So you did that. It's your only move, and then so
right, because
my knight
it does
there.
take me out of checkmate.
But then if I move my bishop here,
That's
then you can't move there. You can't move there. Oh, you can just move
can
up.
I move to c3? Sorry, b3.
Yeah, either. Yep.
Okay,
And then if I
and
move,
then you can shuffle that over because you can definitely
all right, no, all right. So I'm gonna,
well because even if you put your bishop on f7, then I can start moving my
yeah,
well I can't move my king upwards. That could be checkmate. Is it
yeah.
checkmate if you put your bishop at f7?
Oh,
Because I can't move my king up because of your rook,
yeah. So you can't move there.
and I can't move down because of your
You
rook.
can't move there. You can't move
I
there.
guess I would have to go to a3.
You can't move there. Oh yeah, yeah. So
But
a3.
you could move that. You could move your rook from like g4 to like f4, move the knight out of the way, and I'd be out of options. Like
Yeah,
you can open up a safe spot for that
yeah.
knight.
All right. So you move to a3, and then it's my move. So I go. My only move is to go. So I think actually, if we rewound a little bit, because if I go here, it becomes yours. Your only move is to move it back, and that's a stalemate. Because if
But
I
I
make,
could but in theory you could
oh,
move
wait,
your knight
no,
from
no, it's
g4
not. It's not a
to f.
stalemate because you still have one pawn move left.
Yeah, and I
So
just have to decide which one to do.
yeah, so
But if I spend that pawn move, like let's say I don't know, let's say I move a6 to a5, and you open up g4,
so wait,
like if you so like I move my pawn down, right?
yeah,
That same
but
move.
it was my move. So I moved the
Oh,
bishop
okay.
here, and then you moved your king back. I'll move this pawn up, and now it's your move. So you move your pawn down, and then I move here, and that's checkmate.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a faster checkmate than what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So whether you want to call that a
Yeah, so
stalemate or a checkmate is fine by me.
that's basically checkmate because you forced that situation pretty effectively.
Yeah, I tried my hardest. Man, did I try. So
So it turns out with the disadvantaged offside king, like the wall of pawns thing definitely extends the game.
yeah, so I think the brokenness was in having the king start on the offsides there. I think we need, I would say, kings to start on their own side, queens to start on the opponents. Or would you say the opposite?
I don't know. I mean, I think it would be fair both ways. It would just be a different game.
Yeah. And I think especially because I was also white, so I had the first move, gave me just a little bit of an extra advantage in that as well.
Yeah, I think you being white and black having the offside king
Yeah.
is what creates a particular disadvantage for black.
Yeah. So I think
Because
we're
if it's symmetrical, like if it's mirrored and both kings are offsides, I would imagine that it starts out with like a scramble just to wipe stuff out around the kings.
yeah, I was thinking like my first move in this would want to be to get my king to safety if I was in your position, like castling or something. Um,
And then if the kings start on sides, then
I think the queen acts as
it's
the
also
king.
then the queen you just wipe stuff out with the queen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
Maybe there's no maybe that's hard.
yeah. So brokenness, I mean, I
It's
would
up
say
there.
like a 9 out of 10 because
Yeah.
you,
I can think of like two ways to make it more broken, but like
I think if we had done the Pac-Man rules where you could loop around and stuff on
right.
the other side, that would just be like literally unplayable.
Right.
Um, Fawn,
Someone would wind up with like one file of 8 pawns and a king floating around the middle.
yeah. Um, and the phone level, I mean, I'd put this at like a 1 or 2. This was a lot more thinking than it was actually like
Yeah,
playing. And
nice exercise to like discover the game theory of it. Not super thrilling
no.
once we got past the middle of the game.
So yeah, apologies. You haven't gotten the best games in your run with us so far. I'll try to give you something real good for the next time.
I
Uh,
would what I mentioned earlier with the pawns, like so imagine I think this would make it substantially less broken and potentially more fun. Is like keeping it split down the long way, right? Like along the line of the pawn movement. Instead of having like 4 pawns and 4 pieces, I wonder if it would be like 2 rows, like on the inside of the line, like 2 rows of 2 pawns, and then like the queen in the back corner with 3 pieces around it. Because then it makes it easier to actually like do stuff with the pawns. Like you don't wind up with a bunch of like exterior pawns that you can't do anything with.
mm, yeah,
Um,
I think we'd want to workshop the location of the pieces for doing perhaps more than just switching where the king and the queen were. I mean, I like keeping it as original to like the setup as possible, unless that's specifically the thing we're messing with, like randomizer. Yeah, I think, and perhaps not even starting on the same back, like the same 2 ranks. Uh,
right.
yeah, this one, I'll definitely do some thinking about it and see if we can come up with another version. But yeah, thank you again very much for playing this with me. And
No, this was neat. I like it.
yeah, any of you who stuck with us through the end of this quite long game, thank you. And
Thank you. I
yeah,
hope you learned at least as much as us.
and we will see you next week. Bye.